They're
To all your fans.
yeah,
your fans,
Yeah.
your adoring fans.
yeah. Thank you.
Well, welcome you guys to the
Yeah.
Industry Perspective podcast at
Thank
Art Beyond the Glass.
Thank you so much for having
Absolutely.
Thank
Well,
you
just
for being
introduce
here.
yourselves. Who are you guys?
us. So I am Jairo Moreno. I'm the agave master for Bacardi. I represent Patron Ilegal in Cazadores Tequila.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm Cassy Crandall. I work for Angel's Envy
Okay.
in all of LA and San Diego.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Thank you
fun.
guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Can we just change your mic to where it's facing a little bit more up? Yeah. If you want to clip it to, there we go.
Or right there.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just want to face it
Bloody
up.
little microphone.
That's why I was about to place it and I was like, I'm just gonna give it to
You know what?
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
handle
think
that
you
for
got
me.
that.
Yeah.
No.
You know, the A-Drive. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, so
True.
thank you both for coming on. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
you just met
So
us
fun.
maybe 5 minutes ago.
5
Yeah.
minutes
Which
ago.
is
Yes.
great. Which
That's
is
how it
great.
happens. Art Beyond the Glass.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Because we were all downstairs, like making the rounds, checking out the different little booths and everything, and speaking to people. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, "Hey guys, we got to get back upstairs. We haven't checked on the guys in a minute." And then as we're making our way, we ran into you, and then we started like setting this up. Then we ran into another friend on the way here. So it is in full swing,
Hell yeah.
as you can tell by how loosey goosey I am. Plus, this jungle juice is fucking
It's hidden.
hidden.
The drinks here are scary.
No, you
yeah.
have
You
to.
can, like, you can be like, oh yeah, I can have 10 because they're just like these little K cups,
Mhm.
and you can't walk.
Yeah. No, they're bartender pours. So like they
Exactly.
know they can handle
It's
it.
2
Exactly.
ounces in a 4-ounce glass.
Yeah.
We're not playing around today.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
visiting
Yeah.
all the
And the
visiting,
ice has liquor in it somehow.
yeah. I think visiting all the booths is actually adds up.
Yeah.
So you start trying. The cocktails are so good that you
Yeah.
still want to have not 1 but 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go
Yeah.
somewhere. I'm like, okay, I like this one better. And you go back again and try it again. So I mean, it adds
Yeah.
up.
It's
You
like
know,
a cocktail buffet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true too, because I was like, man, these tickets are so expensive. But then you think like, oh, but you weren't paying
open
for
bar.
any of the cocktails.
And you're having
So-
at least 12 rounds. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Oh,
but-
okay. Well, me neither. Who would?
No.
yeah,
not
I have
me.
to do the State Department.
I stop at
7
11.
That's true. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting
So,
arrested.
so tell everybody a little bit about yourselves. Whoever would like to go first.
Yeah.
You
No?
take it away, Jairo.
Oh well,
Yeah.
a little bit about myself. So I'm originally from New York City. I moved here 4 years ago. Well, people might be wondering my accent. I'm Colombian and Puerto Rican. Yes, I sound like Sofia Vergara.
Hey.
Yeah. But you sound like Sofia Vergara, I guess. I guess I sound like Sofia Vergara.
Hell yeah.
You know, I mean, I speak 3 languages. I like, I don't know how to swim, but I do like scuba diving. I don't know how that works, but I scuba dive.
Ring that fucking bell.
I scuba dive before in Colombia.
In a pool?
No, in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean. In the Atlantic Ocean, the guy asked me, "Do you know how to swim?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." But I'm like, "Yeah, I got the tank, so I'm good."
Yeah.
What?
I still did it.
You
Okay.
went to the bottom of the ocean not knowing if you could get back to the top?
No, the scary part was like when they give you the little class and they tell you like, "Oh, hey, this is what happens. This is what you can do, what you cannot do." Like if you go up too fast, the pressure,
Yeah.
whatever, like messes with your lungs, and you can end up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they tell me
It'll
that when I was
collapse
about to
your
go
lungs.
down.
Jesus Christ.
So I already knew that if I were to see something funny down there, it was gonna be like I cannot go back up right away.
Oh my God.
But I saw all sort of animals down there, so like little sharks, and I was terrified. But would I do it again? Yes.
All right.
There you go.
But yeah, I like string sports, and yeah, that's a little bit about me. I work out a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like
And
this is a Tinder profile.
Huh? I used to be taking a lot of photos before I got the job with Bacardi, and
Okay.
I had to take them out because
Ah.
get a little bit more professional. But
All those thirst traps.
if I put your
What's professional like?
I cannot be like showing my shirt everywhere. I
Okay.
mean without shirt.
Okay.
So I cannot be like so I try to be a little more professional. not showing too much skin.
Yeah.
But if you're lucky enough to be my close friends, then
Oh,
Then you get to see
you
what
get
no
to see that.
I will say his abs are crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I moved here,
Yeah.
and I moved here for acting, but I ended up in this industry,
Yeah.
which I love so much.
Well, what
Yeah.
brought you
Sounds
to
about
the
right.
industry?
Huh?
What brought you to the industry, like in working for Bacardi?
Listen, funny thing, I moved here for acting. I was working for Starbucks when I was quarantined during the pandemic, because I moved here during the pandemic.
Okay.
I went to the Abbey and I got drunk. I didn't know anyone in this city. I just grabbed my bags from New York and moved here. And I was so drunk, and I met these girls from Laos, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're not from here!" Like they couldn't tell I wasn't from here. I became friends with them, and 2 months after, they were like, "How are you paying your rent?" And I mean, I was definitely struggling. I needed to work 40 hours exact. The girl was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna help you get a job." So she was like, apply for this job in downtown as a bar back, and I ended up getting the job as a bartender. I didn't know what Aperol Spritz was, none of that.
Shit.
But I put in the hard work in the past 4 years, and I went from bar to bar. Then I got involved within the industry doing activation for many different brands. Last year I worked with Patron for the Cristalino release. I gotta put myself like in the eye of the portfolio itself, and then 6 months later, the position became available, and I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do. And yeah, I interviewed like 5 times, and I got the job.
Hell yeah! Congratulations.
So thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
So basically, I would say I got into the industry out of a need.
Yeah.
And
Necessity.
I didn't know I was gonna like love it so much, and I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the journey.
Hell yeah.
Now a different chapter for me, but I'm loving it.
There you go. And then Cassie, you came in for acting as well. Is
I
that your
did.
path?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I moved here for acting, but I was working a lot with kids with special needs
Okay.
for a long time, and it just wasn't working with my schedule.
Okay.
And so I needed something that was a little bit more focused on like nighttime, where I could sleep more, because I am not, I can't even like hold a conversation before 10 a.m. So it's just not who I am.
The bartender life is for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I started bartending, really fell in love with cocktail culture. All my friends will tell you I'm a sucker for a good cocktail.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is 100% something that I seek out actively, even in my spare time. It's why I love to travel. I
Yeah.
love to see how cocktail culture changes amongst different countries. It's just something that I like to nerd out about.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of just fell into a job at 7 Grand in downtown.
Mhm.
I applied to be in their back bar as one of their like apprentices so that I could start learning about whiskey. And in my interview, they kind of they realized that I knew a lot about cocktails just because of my like nerdy nature.
Yeah.
And I went home and I called them the next day to follow up about the job as an apprentice in their back bar. I was like, yeah, I was just calling. They're like, oh yeah, sorry, we found someone else, and I was devastated.
Fuck them.
And then the next day I got a call from the AGM of the main bar outside, and like 7 Grand has this big reputation for like, you don't get hired to bartender, you have to be a bar back. It's like this really intense culture around it.
Okay.
And I got a call from so even if I had seen a posting for it, I wouldn't have applied, just because I had a lot of like imposter syndrome and like, there's no way I'm ready for that. Why would I ever like go out for that?
Yeah.
And I got a call from the AGM the next day, and he was like, yeah, Cassie, we just wanted to offer you a job as a bartender at the main bar. And I got so
Oh,
much.
shit.
Yeah, and I was like,
Let me let you know.
I don't think
They called you back with a promotion.
Yeah.
You didn't know you were hired.
And so I started working there, and it honestly was such a time in my bar career that I will say like really defined who I was, in that I knew nothing about whiskey, and I had to rely a lot on other people who were a lot more experienced than I was.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to like navigate myself with grace and with kindness in a space in which a lot of people felt like they had earned the right to be there and I hadn't.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it was just like figuring out, how do I stay true to what I like and what I love about bartending?
Mm.
How do I become the best person in the room to work next to?
Yeah.
And now here we are a couple of years later, and I am best friends with everyone I worked with. I went to Japan with a couple of them. So it's like,
wow.
Yeah, it's
Congratulations.
thank
That's
you.
cool.
And then I became friends with a bunch of reps. Had no idea that was even a job. I was like, what do you mean you just go out to dinner?
You just go out and drink and get there. Cool.
Yeah, okay, how do I do what you do?
Yeah.
And then I started going to, because the industry here, as you guys know, it's really active.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of events every week. And I just started going out and introducing myself and making new friends. And they all told me, like, oh, to do this job, you need bar management experience. So then I got a job as a bar manager at a spot in West Hollywood. And I was there for a little while. And then this job became available. Another great example of I didn't even apply for this job at first because I was like, again, there's no way. Like I knew.
I just love that both of you are in this industry as happy accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was just thinking. I'm like, what?
Well, I think for me, I think about this a lot. I think that it's a big testament to, obviously there's so much of it that's right place, right time, but there is an active component within that where you have to actively show up in the places where you know those opportunities are presented.
Oh yeah.
And you have to show up in those places as not even the best version of yourself, I would say probably the truest version of yourself. Because there's also a lot of it that's like, I get really bad social anxiety sometimes. And in this job specifically, you're thrown into rooms at least twice a week where you don't know anybody and you're expected for everybody to love you by the time you leave.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is just like leaning into that aspect of yourself and figuring out, like, for me, it means I always have a book on me. Even right now, I have a book on me. And it means like I can sit at the bar and I can read for a while and wait until I like befriend somebody and then I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to sound preachy in any way. I am incredibly lucky, and Jairo's seen me present a few times. Every time I present, I say, "Hi, I'm Cassie. I have the best job in the world." I genuinely believe that a lot. I love the brand I work for. I'm very passionate about Angel's Envy. Everyone who works in my team on that side is just a truly good person with a good heart who believes in not just whiskey but also cocktails. And I think that was the fun thing for me to discover, was how big the cocktail program of Angel's Envy was and how I got to continue to learn and grow and just keep pushing in that way.
Yeah. I just want to follow on something you said that was really dope, and it heard it with both of you a little bit, just like the idea of imposter syndrome. So like you just finding yourself in this place where you didn't think you necessarily came with the tools or skills needed for the job, but you just showed up and you did your best, and now you're thriving in it. Like, you guys just both speak to that a little bit more, just that imposter syndrome and how you fight it.
I think a lot of it, for me, just like coming from an acting background, I think of it as like a role that I'm playing. When I get really lost, I just say like, okay, well, let's just pretend. Maybe I'll cry in my car on the way home.
That's also after an audition.
Exactly.
After an audition, you cry in your car on the way home.
I mean, you just kind of have to learn how to navigate being nervous. And so often, at least in my experience, being upfront about, like, if I'm in a room with a bunch of people, I'll just say like, "Hi, I'm Cassie. I have a lot to learn from you. I can't wait to talk. I'm so nervous right now."
Yeah.
And people immediately are like, "Oh my God, what?" Or, sometimes you'll get assholes who like try to manipulate that and use that. But I think all that does, when you show up with a controlled air of vulnerability, it reveals a lot about the person who you're in.
Yeah.
And so you learn like the depth of people very quickly in that way.
Nice.
Anyway, that's how I deal with it.
No, for me, I mean, listen, I went for the job and I really didn't know exactly what was going on. I was in Beverly Hills and I just knew that that's the job that I wanted. Deep inside of me, I already felt like that was my call and that the job was going to be for me. Like, I don't know, something deep inside of me was like, I don't even my Colombian instinct, but I was like, that job is mine. But yeah, but I still went with the whole thing, like whether if I get it, I get it, and if I don't, I don't. You know, at least I try.
Yeah.
But of course, I had the same thing that you felt like when I went for the job and I saw the description, I was like, okay, there's a lot of things here that I've never done in my life. But then I heard other people's stories, and it's like they don't have any of this quality, they still got the job. So I still took a chance and did it. Definitely this job puts you in a position for me, like when you talk about anxiety, like I constantly be getting anxiety all the time, believe it or not. And like this job is like, I'm starting to see what you mean, like the best job in the world, because it's like, it's bringing side, like parts of me that I never knew existed. And like going into the room and talking to people and being more like, I would say more present in my body and like engage with everyone. I'm learning that aspect. So I think I just cannot wait to become the new version of me within the job. Because I just know that I'm turning into somebody else, which is a good version of me. Because before I would not go into rooms and be like, hey, like, I mean, I gave a class of 25 people this week that just passed. 25 people talking in front of everyone, 25 people. I could have never done that before.
Wow.
I'd be so scared, even in events that you will attend, or I will attend when I was trying to get this job.
Yeah.
I'll be afraid to talk to people. But there, like, I don't know, it just got me. I'm just approaching everything as like I'm the main character and the director, but in a good way. And I have to lead this movie, and everything falls on me. Whether I connect with the person, if I like, you know, I think I'm getting a little carried out. But but it's like the imposter syndrome is kind of like starting to disappear by doing that. But
I think the only way to overcome imposter syndrome is by being delusional.
I know. Like, just go.
You know what? I belong here. It is.
Fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
To be here. And if you can just channel that for like 5 minutes.
Oh,
it works.
There you go.
Yeah.
I feel like another way to kind of bridge the gap on that is by being in a room or in a space full of people who are just like yourself trying to figure it out and or have figured it out through the help of someone else. And that's what I love about Art Beyond the Glass as an event, because it's that one part of the year where I know I'm going to see a bunch of like-minded individuals in the same field as me. They've either been where I am, where I'm going, or where I've been. And that helps you get that confidence is by meeting people like yourselves and hearing those stories. So saying that, before we wrap it up, how about we just start talking about what Art Beyond the Glass and events like this means to both of you?
I think that Art Beyond the Glass specifically is an important event to attend, only because, well, not only because, but, for many reasons, but one of them being for me in that LA's a hard place. It's so fucking tough out here. And it's one of those where even if you fall into bartending, like we're both actors who fell into bartending, and the city is filled with people who treat that like it's just a side gig and it's just a side job. And I think that it's important to host events that put forward, hey, bartending is a career.
Yes.
You can make your life out of this. Like you don't have to. Expanding your portfolio of what you're capable of doesn't mean that you failed at one thing. And I think that that's something that people get lost in a lot here. And it's important to have events like this and to have things like Art Beyond the Glass, because you get to meet people who are doing your job the same. When we're bartending, we're all doing the exact same thing, but there's thousands of iterations of doing that one thing. And how do you show up and learn from the people? And there's this camaraderie that you get too that I think is really important, because on a bigger scale, there's a lot of attitude around the liquor industry that's like, oh, all bartenders are alcoholics, they're all deadbeats, all of these. We've all heard all these things. And like, yeah, sure, I've been a deadbeat degenerate.
Not untrue.
It's
but
not untrue, but it also doesn't define everything about this job. There is a huge component of creativity and community, and community only works when people seek it out. And that's why I think things like this are so important.
I could have said it anyway.
It's like kind of hard.
That's what
episode.
Well, before you guys get out of here, do you guys just want to look to your cameras and just give like a shout out to Art Beyond the Glass and just thank them?
Hell yeah, Art Beyond the Glass.
Yeah. Thank you guys. So
I couldn't have
much
said it
for
any
having
better
us.
than
Yeah.
And we're not gonna try.
Yeah.